This week, Pakistan officially declared what its defense minister called an open war against the government in Afghanistan, a serious escalation after months of rising tensions. In a statement on social media, Defense Minister Khwaja Asif said Pakistan's patience has reached its limit. What began as repeated border clashes and militant attacks has now spiraled into airstrikes, cross-border shelling, and ground operations targeting Taliban government positions inside Afghanistan. To understand what's happening, we need to get the context right first. For years, Islamabad has accused Kabul of harboring militant groups, especially the Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is also called TTP, which has carried out deadly attacks inside Pakistan. The situation turned sharply in October 2025 when Pakistan launched a series of airstrikes inside Afghanistan targeting what it described as TTP hideouts and training camps. Afghan officials condemned the strikes as violations of sovereignty and said civilians were killed and injured. That marked a major escalation, a foreign army striking deep inside another sovereign country. In weeks that followed, both sides exchanged heavy fire along the border. Casualties were reported on both sides, troop deployments increased, and Pakistan shut down major border crossings, cutting off trade and movement. Khwaja Asif has now described the situation as an open war, but war comes at a price and not just in lives. One of the first casualties has been trade. For decades, Pakistan and Afghanistan have been connected through extensive cross-border commerce. Trucks carrying fruits, vegetables, medicines, and industrial goods used to move daily through crossings like Torkham. Now, repeated clashes and closures have choked these trade routes. Analysts warn that millions of dollars are being lost every day, with cargo stranded and perishable goods rotting. Afghanistan stands to lose heavily, depends on Pakistan for cheap imports, including most of its pharmaceuticals and key food items, and it has no coastline as well. But Pakistan won't escape the damage either. While exports to Afghanistan make up a modest share of Pakistan's overall trade, small and medium businesses in border regions are already feeling the heat. Food producers, transporters, and medicine suppliers are seeing demand collapse and costs rise. Then there is cost of sustained military operations. War requires fuel, ammunition, aircraft, sorties, and logistics, troop deployment, and long-term security commitments. For a country already grappling with debt and economic fragility, prolonged conflict will put enormous strain on public finances. Analysts warn that higher defense spending could crowd out investment in infrastructure, healthcare, and development. Investor confidence is another concern. Foreign investors already view Pakistan as high risk. Escalation in these regions may increase borrowing costs, weaken the currency, and fuel inflation, especially if trade disruptions continue. So the real question may not be who gains the upper hand in military, but whether either country can afford a prolonged full-scale confrontation. Because in conflicts like these, the economic fallout can sometimes be as damaging as the fighting itself.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.